welcome to Gooner Matters. Now, I've got a concern about Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans panicking at the stage because of our injuries. I am one of those who don't want to use injuries as an excuse, although it is the reality of injuries. City has injuries, United, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Wolves, all the teams has got some sort of injury player. It's just the list is shorter than the other and longer than the other, more key players to one team, not so key players to another. So at the end of the day, it's all about perspective and context. Now, is Arsenal fans panicking prematurely? That is the question. And of course, rightfully so, if you don't understand the depth of the squad that we have built up until now, then you probably will panic, because previous seasons, to be honest, I am not feeling any sort of panic. Let me just get this right here. I don't feel any sort, because of the depth we've got. Do I want our best players to be injured? No, of course not. Our captain, Martin Odegaard, is injured. Victor Gyökeres, our main striker, is injured. Our two backup strikers in Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz is injured. Our false nine at times, Martinelli, and our winger is injured. And our new winger on the right, cover for Saka, is Noni Madueke, who started with the ball on fire. He's injured. And of course, Kepa, the goalkeeper's got some injury as well. And then, of course, the latest, which is Ricardo Calafiori and Gabriel Magalhaes. And that's a long list. And any given day, any of those players are starting in the Premier League, Champions League, or any cup game for that matter. So I'm not going to panic, because we do have the depth in the defense, for argument's sake. Now that we've got Gabriel, one of our best players, if not the best defender at this stage, that is injured with a abductor muscle, which is close to the groin hip area. The higher it goes, the worse it becomes. So you're looking at 1 to 3 weeks. If it's just a mild sprain, that's resting, obviously, and after the swelling and maintaining the pain, that is obvious things to look forward to. If it's a mid to almost tear, you're looking at 3 to 6 weeks, and of course, if it's a tear, you're looking at plus minus months, 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that is a concern. There was also talks and reports in the media, Brazilian medias, that he had to train on Friday night on his ace, apart from the Brazilian team, because of something that wasn't feeling good. Now, do you blame Gabriel, or do you blame Ancelotti or the Brazilian doctors for allowing him to play at least 60 odd minutes in a friendly against Senegal, which was a very, very tough game? I've watched that game because I'm a Brazilian fan in national football, and it wasn't necessary for him to obviously be on the field because of the stature of the game. It's a friendly, and they're playing another friendly, pardon me, next couple of days as well. And Senegal, being an African team, it's a very, very tough team. And in that team, you have at least 5 to 7 Premier League players in that team. You've got Ismaila Sarr from Crystal Palace. You've got PM Shaw from Spurs. You've got Ndai from Everton. You've got Gai from Everton, the former Chelsea defender, which is their captain, Koulibaly, and then of course Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea, now currently on loan at Bayern Munich. So they've got a very strong team and a very physical and energetic team, and they don't stop running. And it was a very, very hard game to watch as a Brazilian perspective. And Gabriel didn't need to play that game, although every footballer would want to obviously play against a very good side for the national team in obvious reasons, the preparation for the World Cup. I mean, it's still early. In the summer of next year is very, very far. But still, the national managers obviously want to see who's who in the Zoom. But now the question remains: is it too premature for Ghana fans to panic, considering our team, our squad, our defenders, and also the games coming up, which is the North London Derby next week Sunday, then midweek Wednesday, pardon me, we'll be playing Bayern Munich, and both games are at home, and then we're going down to the West London side of Stamford Bridge the following weekend, and then we have Brentford at home or away, I think. So yeah, there's 3 derbies in the next 4 games. So is it fair for Gooners to panic? I don't think so, because if we are fans of Arsenal and we believe the squad that we've built is strong enough to go and win titles, then why are we panicking? Because if you look at Calafiori, he's been scanned. He came off as well with Italy, and big ups to Italy's manager. Gattuso said he is okay to play the following game, which is come this week, but he doesn't want to take the chance because of his club commitments as well, which is a fair point to take. With not recent, in years ago, Arsene Wenger, obviously, he had issues with that, with players going into international duty and come back injured. And now we've had the same scenario with 2 of our best defenders currently went on international duty and came back injured. I mean, we had it last year with Martin Odegaard had gone into the international duty for his country and came back injured, and he was laid off for a couple of months. So, but back to my point, I'm digressing, is that why are we panicking if we believe our squad is so deep and so strong in every position that we've brought in? We've got Piero Nkapie, we've got Calafiori, obviously fit, he's declared fit, and we've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, and then we've got Mosquera, and that is 4 players whereby you can fall into the Gabriel's position. Now, there's a lot of talk about who you're going to play there, you're going to start there. So I'm going to say you don't change anything else. You keep Timber at right back, you keep Saliba at right centre back, you keep the only position that you change is because of the injury to Gabriel. So you either play Nkapie in that position, or you're playing him at left back, or you play Calafiori in left centre back with Nkapie on the left back, or Miles Lewis-Skelly on left back. So there is your situations that you can play there, or you can keep Calafiori on left back and you bring in Mosquera at right centre back, at left centre back, where he has played before and he has come on in the Premier League for Gabriel in that position. So my choice would be Mosquera to come in for Gabriel and keep Calafiori at left back, because Calafiori and at this stage our left winger in Trossard are having a very good chemistry there. So you don't want to change that aspect of the game. You only have one decision to change, which is Gabriel's position at left centre back, and you're bringing in a very capable centre back that can play both right and left centre back. You're bringing him in there, and you've got cover Should anything happen on the right back, you've got Ben White. If Saliba has to go off, you shift Mosquera to the right and you bring Calafiori into your left centre back, and then you've got a left back. So there's so many options and scenarios to look forward to, but you don't change everything. You only have to change Gabriel's position, which is, in my opinion, I will bring in Mosquera because he, I think, is the stronger of them available currently, because you're going to have to look at Piero Nketiah is going to still play, I think, tomorrow or Tuesday for his country. And whatever happens there with his injury history. So you're going to have to obviously have those sort of thoughts and situations in mind as well as backup. So the options is there. And I don't think it's time for obvious reasons to panic. And that scenario for me, we're playing Spurs away. He's got a very, very good form at this stage. The home form at their own ground is not so good. However, our home form is as good as well, because our defense as a team, pardon me, has not conceded a chance on target at home. So although they are so good away, we are also very good at home. So people are panicking because of that scenario. So at the end of the day, pardon me, we gotta have to stand firm as fans, irrespective of who's getting injured. And it's not nice to see your best players get injured. So we have at least 3 confirmed players that's coming back, which is Victor Gyökeres, Gabriel Martinelli, and Noni Madueke. Those are the 3 that is possibly confirmed to come back. So we have attackers back in our fold as well. It's just the defense where we have cover, and with Zubomendi and Rice in front of them is enough defensive cover. So I don't think it is at that stage where we as fans have to panic. So again, before we go any further, like, share, and of course subscribe to Gooner Matters, and let's hear your comments in the comment section below. So now going to the next segment, which is the London derby in the WSL that we've seen yesterday. And oh man, what a hard watch that was. It was a frustrating watch. It was a watch that could have gone either way. Big ups to Spurs ladies. Previous seasons or previous games, we would have hurt them with plenty goals, with plenty physicalities and energy. But I think Spurs under this new guy has really come to a point whereby they can frustrate teams. And I think it was a very good opportunity for us to close the gap on City, with City being 3 or 4 points clear now on the WSL log. If we had won, we could have gone into 3rd or 2nd. Now we stuck at 5. The same points with Spurs on the goal difference. So I think my opinion on this particular thing with the WSL or the ladies, the GOONERS, I think Renee Slaggers has to change things, because the last 3 games whereby she started both Stina Blackstenius and Alessia Russo doesn't work. You could see it against Bayern Munich midweek, Champions League, and you could see it against Chelsea and also now against Spurs. It doesn't work. So I think, why are we changing a team or a situation that works for you? It's like, you're doing something, but now you want to change things to it's all good and well to want to swap and change formation or tactics, or it's all good and well for that thing. But if your first 2 games doesn't work, your tactics doesn't work, then you have to change it back to a winning recipe. because previously when Russo is playing up front as a lone striker, then you have Manum or you have Kim Little just behind her. And it's fair to say Kim Little has been playing a lot of minutes, and forgive me if I'm ignorant, she might be injured as well. But Manum has been in good form from the start of the season. She's been scoring goals. So why would you change a winning formula opposed to keeping it? So for me, Blackstenius and Russo together on the starting 11 doesn't work. You play Russo up front, you bring in Manum as a 10, and you give Russo to fight for at least 1 or 2 goals. And then Blackstenius has always been good coming off the bench, and I understand she needs a starting position, but she's been prolific and very impact, an impact player from the bench. So why are you going to change that? I think Renee has to think about this. You can't play both of them. Play Russo in the 10 because you're going to burn her out because she's all over the place. She's a hungry player. She wants to get the ball. I mean, yesterday she even went as far as the right centre back in order to collect the ball. I mean, that's how hungry she is. And her spot is up front between the 2 defenders, where she is very dangerous. She runs off a defender, and I think that doesn't work for me. In my opinion, the 2 of them doesn't work. And then, of course, Beth Mead, I think, has run a race with Arsenal. Although she scores the odd goal here and there, that needs to change. Yes, Olivia Smith has come back from international duty with an injury, but now you can see she's fit. You have to start that girl, because when she came on yesterday, everything changed. She had a couple of shots on target. She almost brought through an assist. And we had chances, and the game ended on 0-0. So how in God's earth do you go draw 0-0 against a very average Spurs side? Although Spurs, obviously, like I said in the beginning, is that Spurs had a very good game, frustrating Arsenal. I mean, Neville was there for the taking. Hunt was there for the taking. I mean, when Smith came on, she really turned things around on that right-hand side, and I think Kelly came on too late for the left side, and I think forward had also a very average game. So those sort of left and right back had very good games against a Mead and a Ford, but when Smith came on, things changed, and I think Beth Mead had her chances. She also had opportunities, but I think she has to sit down a little and see how far we can close the gap on Man City, especially when Chelsea drew against Liverpool yesterday. They looked very weak. They looked very poor. They looked very average as a champion, and of course have not lost a game this season. In, I think 34 matches. That's something silly like that. So yeah, we had the opportunity to close the gap on City, and obviously even going maybe past Chelsea and put more pressure on them. So Renee has to really look at how she's going to start the next couple of games. Is she going to go back to the formula that works, or is she going to stick with Russo and Stina with Beth Mead on the right? I think it has to change now going forward, because the ladies has got all the firepower and the ability, and also Katie McCabe. Oh man, a legend in the game. But I think she also have to sit a little and bring in Taylor Hines from the start. Taylor Hines, when she came on, she gave width, she gave energy, and she gave that physicality. Things changed on that side, on the left side as well, when she came on. And I think Taylor Hines have to really come good for a start in the next couple of games, and let the old folk like the Beth Mead and the Katie McCabe, let them sit a little down and forward, and then give the guys that have the hunger, that generally come from the bench and change things, give them the start, and keep the 10 and Omanium in the Monum and the 9 in Russo, and let's win a couple of games, and let's obviously get back to that point of putting pressure on City and on Chelsea, because we need that. There's a lot of pressure coming now. The pressure is building up on René Slegers. So we need to obviously keep in mind that, yes, we are the champions of Europe for the ladies, but we need to maintain those things. I mean, Bayern Munich came from a 2-0 down to come beat us 3-2 midweek. Yes, it was away to Bayern Munich, but how can we comfortably lead at 2-0 and give it away 3-2? I mean, we had chances to make it 3-1, 3-0, 4-1. We had all those chances, but we gave it away because of, I think, the tactics didn't work out. So I think René has to change things, because the pressure is obviously building, and we need to get back to winning ways, get back to that status whereby we as Arsenal, in the WSL, in the Women's Champions League, can show that we are a team to be reckoned with. Again, subscribe, like, share, and of course, leave your comments in the comment section below. Again, you've watched Gooner Matters, and thank you for your support, and all the best for the next week. The London Derby at home at the Emirates, and let's see what we can come up with. And please, fans, don't panic. We have the squad to go and go further and keep our momentum like we did. Cheers.